This artificial war happening with big tech right now has gotten a lot of popularity, and in today's episode I want to take a closer look at two semiconductor companies that I believe can benefit dramatically due to this overall big tech spending. Unfortunately, some stock prices have kind of ballooned in the past few months, and I want to kind of discuss my overall thoughts to see if this is hype or is the hype really worth it. Alright, so the first company we're going to take a closer look at is my favorite semiconductor. You guys might know it, Nvidia. We can see as I am discussing today's episode, the stock is up over 5%, and we can see year to date the stock is up over 60%. So this is what I believe gets a little bit too scary with the hype that's happening. Obviously Nvidia, and we're going to explain in a bit why, will be a huge benefitor of the overall growth in artificial intelligence. But is this 60% year to date growth really the true value, or are we getting a little bit too excited? And we'll obviously discuss that in a bit. Let's take a closer look right now at Nvidia's data center market. So if we take a closer look at Nvidia's data center market, we can see a few things. The data center is the biggest portion of this company's total revenue. Nvidia has the far lead in market share for data center CPUs. No one in the market comes anywhere close. The other thing we are seeing is quarter one, quarter two, and quarter three have been pretty flatline for Nvidia in form of data center revenue, roughly 3.8 billion if you kind of round up and round down. We do expect quarter four, and they are expected to report earnings on February 22nd, to be very similar to this, maybe 3.8, 3.9. We also, for those that are not familiar with Nvidia, these are some of the data center solutions that they hit. They have the GPU market, they have the DPU market, and they're also entering in the CPU market. The only one right now that, in my opinion, is really driving that growth is going to be the GPU, and I do believe that's going to be there for the long term of things. The other thing is, for those not familiar, Nvidia also has massive data center infrastructure solutions. So let me kind of scroll up real quick here. We can see the various data center infrastructure solutions that Nvidia has. You can buy a one system or even multiple racks to kind of build out your own supercomputer. And here we can see why artificial intelligence needs GPUs. You can kind of see the overall growth that GPUs kind of bring to transformer models in the artificial intelligence world. Before we go any further, I want to thank you for watching, and I need your help to reach my goal of 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you can do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and thumbs up. Also, if you want some fantastic insight into the semiconductor industry, join my other channel, Semiconductor Investing and More, where I use my electrical engineering background to break down the semiconductor market. Finally, I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for their subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode. Here we can also see some recent news that this kind of popularity with ChatGPT runs on Nvidia's training GPUs. And with this kind of software or product right now that's kind of hitting over limits and kind of overusage at the moment, they're gonna need to invest more, especially as Microsoft has also released that they are gonna implement ChatGPT into their Bing engine. Then we have Google, who's also going to implement Bard into their Google search engine. The amount of the money big tech is going to start to use for data center solutions, especially in the artificial intelligence world, is going to continue to increase. I mean, we see this article here from WCCF Tech, where Nvidia's GPU demand to exceed supply as Green Team bets on ChatGPT. Thousands of AI chips expected to be incorporated by tech giants. And while I am super bullish, I am very bullish on Nvidia, and in the long term of things, I do believe in the short term, this kind of roundup of 60% year to date is going to cause a lot of volatility. I expect that maybe some investors might be expecting the data center quarter four to be a lot stronger than it really was. I don't think we're going to see quarter four see too much. Quarter one of fiscal year of 2024, they are about a year ahead. That guidance is what's going to really kind of dictate what happens with the stock price, in my opinion. Obviously, we are expected to see growth, and I do believe that's what most investors are expecting. The outlook for quarter one to be highly growth in a sequential basis, The real question is how much is it priced in, and what other kind of data center solutions are seeing strong growth. We saw from AMD, unfortunately, and Intel that the data center market, at least in the processor side for the CPU servers, is not that strong in the first half of. So how much different is the GPU market? And all these uncertainties, in my opinion, are what's really going to drive the stock price after earnings. We do see some other kind of cool articles here coming out that NVIDIA CEO recently did a presentation at a university, and he calls ChatGPT one of the greatest things ever done for computing, and says it's the iPhone moment of AI. The reason being is all these consumers are getting exposed to artificial intelligence, and we're going to start seeing this in numerous places, right? We're seeing it in the search engine. We're most likely going to start seeing it in places like website design, in 3D model design, and so much other creativity solutions out there that the growth potential is definitely very, very high. The real question is how much of that potential can be gained in such a short time, or is this going to be something that would take multiple years, multiple months, a decade to really reach that full potential? So in my opinion, I do believe NVIDIA is going to be a huge winner from this AI race. Unfortunately, I do believe with the stock price movement year to date, it's going to be a very, very volatile in the short term of things. But long term of things, I really do enjoy NVIDIA. Now, the second company that I believe can benefit greatly is TSM, it's Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. For those that are not familiar with TSM, this is the company that manufactures most of the advanced chips. Year to date, the stock is up roughly 32%. I don't think it's overly priced like we see with NVIDIA. And for those that are not familiar, TSM just recently reported their January numbers, and they did see a 3.9% increase month over month versus December, and they did see a 16.2% year over year increase compared to January of 2022. I'm personally super excited to see how February numbers are going to come out in about a month from now. I do expect that month over month increase and year over year increase to be a lot stronger, especially with this AI race. As we can see from TSM's kind of earnings presentation, most of their revenue comes from advanced nodes, 7 nanometers and 5 nanometers. These are the nodes that the kind of current GPUs make or are using. So obviously, if there is a huge demand here, TSM is definitely going to have a nice improvement of their manufacturing line, see an increase in demand. Now, another kind of concern here that I have for NVIDIA is we did see kind of this shortage or over demand and lower supplies in GPUs about a year ago with the GPU market and the cryptocurrency market. My real concern here is going to be that NVIDIA's management team doesn't get too ahead of the race and try to kind of pick up too much supply at the moment, because in the unfortunate scenario where maybe the demand is not as strong as many expect, then NVIDIA is going to be left out with a lot of inventory. So I'm pretty sure management is going to discuss that during their earnings call. And if you are an investor, that's what you're going to want to listen. Hey, how is management handling the future inventory? How they're handling future production lines to make sure that, hey, the same thing that happened about a year ago or what's happening right now with lower demand and just too much supply is really kind of driving some of the prices down. So management needs to deal with that pretty strongly, in my opinion. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.